You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
She's
is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you do not know who I am, my name is Bianca, but you can call me Fantasy Enthusiast. I make content based on fantasy stuff and just very much anything that brings communities together that I enjoy and that hopefully other people enjoy. By the way, I won't be showing my face in this video because I don't feel like getting on camera, so yeah. So you're just gonna see this picture most of the time. So, today I'm here to do a video on the whole thing that happened when it came to Rachel Zegler's response regarding the original film of Snow White and what she had to say regarding the film. And that's because on my recent video, on the video I just made of Rachel Zegler that I recently uploaded, somebody responded under my comment section and they were like, oh, people were sending hate towards her because of what she had to say about the original film and how hateful she was about it and this and that. And I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, you're getting upset because of that? And I was just like, I watched a couple of the interviews and then obviously I watched videos and all that, and I'm just like, you guys, this is just an opinion. An opinion. An opinion that I'm like, you guys should just respect and move on and go about your day. How I personally feel about the whole situation, it's that, for one, it's an opinion that you can disagree with, but respectfully. Because literally people are sending her hate just for speaking her opinion regarding about the older film, saying that it doesn't empower Snow White, it's very boring, and I'm just like, you guys can disagree with that, and that's okay, but you do not have to send hate towards her just for speaking that opinion. And two, I also personally think that the whole part when she said that she's not going to be saved by a prince anymore, she's not going to be in love anymore, dreaming about love and all that, that part I very much do think is ridiculous, because obviously women can very much fall in love and still be empowering just as well. Like, I don't understand why there's some people who think that way, that if women fall in love, that means, oh, they're going against you know, what they stood up for in the first place and all that. Like, I don't understand why people think that way. I don't. When I'm just like, women can still be just as empowering and just as strong, even if they fall in love, you know? And so I'm just like, I don't know who gave them the mindset to think that way. I'm just like, what? And seeing that Rachel Zegler has that same mindset, I'm just like, I honestly don't think I don't think she has bad intentions with the way she thinks. I very much do think that she believes that because of what she's seen in media as a whole when it came to the way a lot of women are portrayed in a lot of media. And obviously, some people tend to perceive women that fall in love to be a bad thing, and that it obviously doesn't empower her or anything. But I'm just like, that is not true. And so, I feel like with the way she views it, it very much just because of the things she's seen in terms of women that do fall in love and that they do not, you know, fight for themselves. Because an example that I could very much give that's an older film that I personally do think is still just as empowering is, for example, The Little Mermaid. People tend to make the argument that role model to women because she literally turned into a human for a man and all that, and so people are like, wow, like, and you guys think she's an empowering woman and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you guys clearly missed the first half of the movie then, because in the very beginning of the movie she literally sung a song called Part of Your World, and it's literally about her wanting to go out in the world and just find things, you know, and do things that she wants to do in the human world. It had nothing to do at first with Prince Eric. And until she obviously saw him, and that was just a second thing. That was an addition to something she wants in her life.
Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world.
And so I'm just like, you guys think she isn't a role model because of obviously it being an older film, and it's just, I'm like, what? Like, you clearly missed the first part of the movie then. She literally says so many things in that song that is very much empowering towards women. So that whole thing is very much an example of what I mean by people think that falling in love makes them less empowering. Like, no. So, with what Rachel Zegler said in that interview, in terms of that aspect, I was like, okay, that is very much something I do disagree with. Like, no, that's not true. Women can still fall in love and still be empowering. And still dream about love and all that. But what I do think I do disagree with a lot of you guys is very much her saying that she's going to be a leader. She's going to stand up for herself and all that. Because here's the thing. If you look back at the original film, when you look back at the older film, Snow White, she was very much just depressed the whole entire time of the movie. Until you got towards the end of the film, of course, when she was saved by her prince and then they lived happily ever after, the end. But for most of the movie, she was very much just sad and alone. And the whole entire time just trying to, you know, save herself and all that. And so that's why I'm like, we didn't really get to see much of her as a character when you really think about it. Because the whole entire time, it was just her very much depressed and not able to, you know, do things for herself and all that. And so that's why I'm like, that's where it lacks when it comes to her as a character. And so when you see that in the film, you're like, I wish we saw more of Snow White. And so Rachel Zegler saying in the film of the live action that she's going to be a leader and she's going to, you know, do so many more things in the live action is actually really nice because it makes it more interesting. This is just my opinion, but I personally think that the original film is pretty boring. And that's why I agree with Rachel Zegler for most of the things she said. The original film is honestly boring. Like, there's nothing really much that happens in the film, and it takes a really long time for it to, you know, go somewhere. And so, it's pretty boring, you know? Like, looking back at it. And, I very much agree with Rachel Zegler with that part, with her saying it's boring and all that. Like, it honestly is. And that's why, like, I feel like with this new live action, it's gonna be more interesting. Because she's gonna do more. Like, Snow White's actually gonna go more on adventures. She's gonna actually go out to the world more that she couldn't in the first place in the original film, you know? And I feel like her actually being able to have more characteristics than what she had in the first place, I feel like it's going to be a lot more interesting. and more intriguing to watch. Would I say I'm like interested in the live action? I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to watch a Snow White live action because I don't really like Snow White to begin with. But if I do hear like, good things come from the live action and all that, then I'm like, okay, I'll give it a watch, But as of right now, I am not looking forward to this live action whatsoever. But I do very much do not appreciate the way people are treating Rachel Zegler when it comes to her playing Snow White. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and it's just very immature, and it's unnecessary. So, I don't know. I'm just like, I personally think that the original Snow White movie is pretty, like, flawed. It's not really as good as people make it to be. The only thing I could personally appreciate when it comes to the original film is the animation, because if it weren't for that film, we wouldn't have the animation we have today. So that's the only thing I can compliment when it comes to the animated film. But other than that, it doesn't really hold up. So, yeah. But again, you can very much disagree with me with what I stated in terms of the original film. Just please do it respectfully, because it's just an opinion at the end of the day. And just as it's just my opinion, same thing for Rachel Zegler's too. It is also her opinion. So you do not have to send hate to her just for stating that the original film was boring and that what she said in terms of Snow White as a character is very much, again, just her opinion. I do disagree with what she said in the first part of it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to send hate towards her. So, this unnecessary hate is just so, like, unnecessary, and it's just distasteful. Like, leave the woman alone. So, yeah. So, that's really all this video was. Like, this video was just very much just to let you guys know that opinions are just opinions that you can disagree with, but respectfully. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more. And bye.